Hi, so you want to know how plants reproduce. First, there's two different kinds. There's angiosperms, which create like this fruit kind of stuff, and then there's gymnosperms, which make like cones and stuff. That's not important. What we're talking about is angiosperms. They're fruiting plants. Fruiting plants, they reproduce, they create new plants by creating flowers. The flowers contain the reproductive organs for these plants, and they have female and male parts. The male parts are the stamens, which produce pollen, and the female parts are the pistils, which contain the ovules. Uh, if you are a female, you have ovules. If you're a male, I don't know human anatomy. Uh, so pollen. So you transfer the pollen, and this causes pollination. It's when the pollen is transferred from stamens of one flower, typically on a different plant, to the pistil on another flower. And this can be done by anything from wind to rain to insects to birds to humans. We do it sometimes we, because we like things like vanilla or orchids to reproduce. Um, and when pollen goes from the stamen to the stigma, uh, it goes down a tube through the pistil to reach the ovules in the ovary. Um, and then it delivers the pollen or the sperm cells to fertilize the ovule, leading to the formation of seeds within the ovary. And within the ovary, something grows, typically a hypanthium, um, and it develops into a fruit, an apple. And the ovules develop into the seeds, which you know, the little like black seeds. Apples typically have five of them, and the surrounding tissue, the hypanthium, uh, swells and matures and becomes fleshy, and that's what we eat, the typically white, fleshy part. And then it ripens. It basically changes from this dry dehiscent thing to a fleshy, moist, sweet, sometimes acidic thing that animals or humans want to eat. Sometimes we swallow the seeds to disperse them, or otherwise, we throw out the core and then that grows. Um, but yeah, there's different kinds of flower pollination. Some apples or fruits are self pollinating. So their flowers can have the male and female on the same one, and they can pollinate each other. Insects can go from male flower to female on the same plant. But others have different types, so you need to have a like an A type and a B type, or a male from one tree and a female from a different tree. And that's just because of genetic diversity. And through trial and error, we've realized that it's important to have differentiation of genes. So the DNA of these plants needs to be different enough. So you have to have different plants and have multiple of them in the same area that gets pollinated to reproduce. Some you can reproduce with yourself, but that can go bad if there's a disease that transfers to your specific kind of plant. And then others, they have to have others. So, like, it's the difference between asexual reproduction and sexual reproduction, but I'm not going to get into that. That's the basics.